C-Red Nation, what is good? The Chicago Bulls preseason games have been released. We'll talk about those and our biggest takeaways from Summer League. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel, Talk Chicago Sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So, Bulls preseason games have been released. The Chicago Bulls will play 5 preseason games this season. They will start things off versus the Milwaukee Bucks, 2 against the Nuggets, which is an interesting game. You got 2 against the defending world champions, right? 1 against the Raptors, 1 against the T-Wolves. I like this to start off the season. I think that there's a good test, and it finishes off kind of, smooth. You get to see a nice little last couple of games, right? We know that those are usually the games where it's like Zach LaVine's not going to play pretty much at all. Maybe see a little bit of DeMar DeRozan, see a little bit of Nikola Vucevic, see a little bit. I mean, like, they might not play at all. You're going to see more P. Will, more Dalen Terry, more of Julian Phillips, right? But I like that we got 5 games this season because I think it allows us to really be able to see the most out of what this team's young players can be early on as we're getting things set up here. Because to me, I'm not going to lie to you, when I'm heading into these last, I don't know, like this upcoming season and just coming out of these last few Summer League games, right? Like, there's not a lot that I'm looking at where I'm like guaranteed. Now, I should say it in this way. There's not a lot that I'm looking at guaranteed that I feel overwhelming confidence on. I'm a big fan of what we saw. Big takeaway from Adama Sanago in the Summer League. I thought that he was a really good player for the Bulls. I thought he did some really good things. I liked how he was just solid, right? Like, 10.8 points a game, almost 9 rebounds a game, almost 2 steals. I think he had 1.5 steals a game, something like that. And I thought that he was a really solid player for the Chicago Bulls. Did a really good job on the defensive end, on the offensive end, and nothing was, oh my God, I can't believe that this guy's doing this, out of this world. And so to me, those are the guys that usually translate pretty well to the NBA. I think we'll have 2 players, if Javon Freeman-Liberty as well does get a 2-way deal. I think we'll have 2 players that have a possibility. They can play up to 50 games before you have to put them on a full contract. And so I think you have 2 players here that could play up to 50 games this season or get close to that mark. Especially, right, a guy like Adama Sanago, to me, I see him as that because when I look at his game, I'm asking the question on, okay, if we're sitting here having this conversation on how's he going to get minutes, it's not that hard for me to figure out. We don't have a lot of guys who are out there that fit the center mold for a small ball team that the Bulls are trying to be. And Andre Drummond has random games where he has tendencies to get into foul trouble by just trying to Euro step his way to the bucket. So I think that there's opportunity there for Sanago to be able to get into games. And that I think that him and Javon Freeman-Liberty, just based on kind of some of the struggles that we've seen at those 2 positions, will have opportunity. I think they showed enough in Summer League to be able to actually play a little bit on the NBA side of things, not just on the G League side of things. Of course, I think these guys will get time in the G League, but I think there'll be more time on the NBA side of things as well. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below about those 2, man. Javon Freeman-Liberty, Adama Sanago, those are 2 names that were very, very big coming into, well, Javon not so much, right? But Adama Sanago for sure coming into this Summer League. Javon kind of surprised a lot of people with how efficient he was going to be able to score. I think he's going to be somebody who, right, remember, Carlik Jones has a training camp deal. So you also have to be able to beat out that guy. So Javon's job is not done. JFL's job is not done. Maybe he has a little bit more of the edge if he can score very similarly to Carlik, because if I can score like you, okay, I'm also 6'4", and I facilitate the ball a little bit better. So I could see him having a little bit of an advantage over a guy like Carlik Jones. But at the end of the day, right, like you got to be able to go in there and just win the day. You got to be able to go in there and win the day. And that's yet to be seen. I think that he did a really good job in Summer League, but can you go out there and prove that you're better than a guy who's already in a position to be set up to be on this roster? I know that the biggest thing I think coming out of this Summer League, the two questions that most people had was, what the heck is Dalen Terry going to do? And what is Julian Phillips been? The Terry question to me, I mean, listen, we just talked about this over on Locked On Bulls, and at the end of the day, Dalen Terry is, offensively, he was horrible. And I'm talking about just scoring the ball. Offensively, he didn't shoot the ball well. He had a hot game in the last game. I'm not going to sit here and shoot you bail money for how you came out in the other 3 or 4 games based on one game. But he did play well. He did get a shot going. He was able to knock down the 3 ball. It was good to see that. I do like his comments after the game, though, where he says, basically, I know what's going to get me on the court. It's going to be my defense. It's going to be my energy, my rebounding, different things like that. And I do agree with him, because I also come out of Summer League with I have this excitement of Freeman Liberty, have an excitement of Adama Sanago, but that excitement is tempered when you have to think about the fact of, guess what? At the end of the day, if I'm sitting here and I want to have these guys on my team, how are they going to look when they're getting at most 6 to 8 shots? How do you look in that scenario? How do you look in that situation? Because right now, Javon Freeman Liberty can shoot as many shots as he wants. You're not going to have that opportunity when you have Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic on the floor. Even if you go to the bench and you got Kobe White, P. Will, Alex Caruso, right? Like you're just not going to have that scenario in place for you to be able to go out there and just take as many shots as you want. Now, if you start putting up shots and making them early on, and again, right, he was a guy who played 6 minutes last season. He scored 8 points in those 6 minutes. So it tells you a lot about this guy. He can go out there and put the ball in the bucket. But are you going to be able to get that same opportunity here? For me, with Dalen Terry, I look at Dalen Terry as a guy who he's going to get defensive opportunity. He'll probably get a ton of them. He's going to get opportunity to get a steal and push the ball down the court and try to find the open man. That's where I want to see kind of where Dalen Terry's success ends up going to on the next level. I'm not looking for him to be the 3-point shooter. Now, I will say this. You have to make 3 balls. That you do, right? Like, I'm not sitting here shooting him bail on that either. Like, if you're the open man in the corner, there's probably a reason, and you have to make them pay. You have to knock down those shots. I want to see him knock down those shots. I need to see him knock down those shots, because that's been the problem with this team the entire time. But at least to start off, what I want to see from Dalen Terry to get on the court is facilitating and defense. Those are the only 2 things I'm asking of him. I'm not asking more. I'm not asking less. And on Billy Donovan, play him. Just play him. Just play him. Just play him. Least amount of minutes from any 18th overall pick. Just play him. You know what I mean? So I think that's my biggest question mark with Terry. With Phillips, Julian Phillips is going to be wearing number 13. And y'all already know what that number means in Chicago. You got to come out with the energy. You got to come out. The defense, to me, I think is still going to be a little bit more of a work in progress. I mean, he didn't look great defensively in Summer League at any point. Didn't look great rebounding the basketball. But with that jumping ability, with that vertical, I need to see you coming out instantly. Okay, we're getting, off of the steal. I'm at the bucket. I'm being aggressive. If the shot comes along, the shot comes along. I love it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that. I think that he can shoot. I think he will be able to shoot. Now, when people were coming in and they're like, he couldn't shoot in college, it was like, well, he took like 40 3-pointers the entire time he was in college. He took basically like 1 every or 2 every like 3 games or so, something like that. So I'm not losing my mind on what he did with his college numbers. Also, nobody on the team took more than 9 shots. I want to see kind of what this team is going to be, or what Julian Phillips is going to be on this team as a defender, as an energy guy, as a guy running the floor. Is there a role for you if that shot isn't falling? Because right now, realistically, that role should go to Dalen Terry, because you want to see what he is as the 18th overall pick. And then my focus is just, at the end of all of this, is on the coaching staff. Right? Like, all of these takeaways that I have from Summer League, all the things that I'm like, this is what I feel, this is what I see, this is what I like. What's the coaching staff going to do? If the coaching staff puts guys in positions to be successful, I'm here for it. But you know what? Over the past 7 years of Bulls basketball, the coaching staff has not put guys in position to be successful, has not put guys on the floor that are successful. And I that's going to be my biggest question no matter what, man. But hey, I do want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. What are your biggest takeaways from Summer League? I'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. To continue watching our Chicago Bulls content, click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below. And if you're only here for just Bulls content, go check out the Chicago Bulls Breeze, where we'll have all our content posted for the Bulls as well. As always, y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Appreciate the love. 20K in the building. Peace.